started, excuse me, in just a few moments. Get this sent out on social media and we will get going, friends. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you are hoping to see for weather in Kentucky tonight. Sorry, I'm a little distracted trying to get this shared out on the social medias. Don't want to feedback, y'all. Sorry. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Meteorologist Shane Smith here with you. Monday, December 1st, the beginning of meteorological winter, and we're tracking a winter storm moving into Kentucky. There's some irony for you. And the forecast, at least for me, has not changed a whole lot. I'm going by the old Kenny Rogers song, know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Well, I'm going to hold on this one, and we'll see how it works out. But let me know where you're joining from tonight, what you want to know about the upcoming winter weather that's going to impact the Bluegrass, and let me know where you're watching from and which platform you're on. And we're going to get right into it. I've got the snow map pulled up. I've not really toyed with it much since yesterday. I'm feeling pretty confident. We'll see how it plays out. So let's break it down for you. Down along the Kentucky-Tennessee border, for you folks, Pikeville, Hazard, Harlan, Whitesburg, London, Williamsburg, Corbin, Monticello, and then back over to the west along the Kentucky-Tennessee border in western Kentucky, land between the lakes over towards Mayfield. This is looking like a mainly rain event. If we get any snow accumulation in these green zones, I'm going to say congratulations. It's going to be hard. Not impossible, but hard. Up to an inch, that may be optimistic, but we'll see how it goes. Realistically, here in London, if we wake up with a half inch on the ground tomorrow, I am going to be very shocked. Hey there! Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us from Corden over in Henderson County. Tell Jimmy I said hi. For you folks over there, around the Owensboro area, back over towards Henderson, we're talking 1 to 3 inches of snow. I think it's going to be a light snow. Don't think it's going to be a lot, but I do think y'all will get a little bit. Same story around E-Town. Covington, I'm going to keep you in the 1 to 3, although 1 to 3, 2 to 4, kind of on that border. Moorhead, kind of the same story. Somebody in central Kentucky from Lexington northeast up to Maysville, they're going to get funked by this. I think we're going to see a deformation ban, excuse me, two different things. Deformation ban set up, and that's going to drop some wild snow up in central Kentucky. Wouldn't surprise me if somebody maybe was pushing 5 inches between Lexington and the Ohio River tonight. Brandy Couch joining us from Harlan. Wish I had better news if you're a snow lover, Brandy. Not looking like much for my friends in Harlan County. And even up on Black Mountain, we're going to take a look at that Black Mountain Mesonet site here in just a minute. The pink area, that's the one I haven't talked about yet. We're going to call this a wintry mix of rain, changing to freezing rain, changing to snow. There could be some ice accumulation here, and that does have me a little concerned. If we do accrete some ice, that's going to cut back your snowfall totals, but it's going to make things that much more slick. Up to 2 inches of snow, probably a coating of snow at the bare minimum. So places like Paducah, Bowling Green, back over towards West Liberty, Science Hill, those spots. There's going to be a really harsh transition between who gets a couple inches of snow and who gets just rain from this event, or a little light bit of snow. Okay, enough for the snow map. Let's show you what's going on out there right now. It is a tale of two halves of the state. In northern Kentucky, we are seeing just good snow falling on the radar. Now, how much of that's hitting the ground? Still some questions about that. I've been trying to find a few cameras to verify some of that. But we are at least seeing snow on the radar from about I-64 north. So if you're watching in that area, say Dry Ridge, Frankfort, Louisville, Florence, Covington, Winchester, Moorhead, let me know what you're seeing in your backyard right now. We'll see if this radar data is verifying. Here along the southern end of the I-75 corridor, from Richmond south, right now it's mainly rain. We are generally running mid to upper 30s right now. See a little bit of that wintry mix trying to show up at a few spots out in western Kentucky. And we still got more snow off to the west. And there's that first band really setting up good around St. Louis. Inside those intense blues, you can get some decent snow pretty quickly. So we're going to have to wait and see how this all plays out. So if you have questions, post those in the chat on YouTube and on Facebook. Right now here in London, it is currently 36 degrees. So we've got to drop it at least 4 more degrees before we get snow flying here in good old London, Kentucky. In London, we are not under the winter weather advisory. It cuts off just to our north. Rockcastle County, Jackson County, both in that winter weather advisory. Laurel and Pulaski, no soup for you. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to see snow. That just means the Weather Service thinks we're not going to get enough snow to get into that winter weather advisory criteria. Typically, they issue that out of Jackson of 1 to 3 inches. Sarah Berry joining us from down in Whitley County, asking about Laurel and Whitley County. Sarah, thanks for joining us. Yeah, right. If we had that cold this morning, right now, it wouldn't be a question. It would be all snow. Nathan Little, is there SCU in Perry County tomorrow? Probably, Nathan. We'll talk about that. Clark Kidd saying Johnson County should probably be in it. I think there's an argument that Johnson and Floyd both should possibly be in that winter weather advisory. Also over in Magoffin County. And yes, Clark, that is an excellent point. And we're getting ready to get into that. The temperatures are not as warm right now as some of the earlier data was indicating. And that may be a good thing if you're a snow lover. So let's bring up the Kentucky Mesonet and take a look at those current temperature readings. Dwayne Russellberg saying, hi, Shane. Nathan, all hope is not lost yet. We're going to talk about those snow day chances here in just a second, but right now it's not looking great. So, all right, Kentucky Mesonet. You guys know I'm a huge fan of this. Ran out of Western Kentucky University. We just set up the Mesonet site over at the Center for Innovation where I teach, where it is currently 36 degrees. Notice, though, that dew point is 29. So we can get a little evaporative cooling going on as this rain falls. That will help to drop the temperature some. The freezing line right now, kind of running from around Louisville back just west of I-65, back over towards like Greenville, Madisonville, Calhoun, Hancock County, you're like barely above freezing. So the freezing line is still in the western end of the state for most of us, although there are a few pockets, like right now, Johnson County is sitting at 30.7 degrees. So when precipitation starts there, should be snow. Might be some freezing rain. We'll talk about why that is. And actually, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring up the Harlan County Mesonet site. This is Black Mountain in Harlan County. Notice that elevation down here. 4 4,000 feet. That is the best mesonet site in the state because it lets us see what's happening 4,000 feet in the atmosphere. And when it comes to snow or freezing rain or sleet, we want to see what's happening above us. Well, we've got real-time data from 4,000 feet now, at least in southeastern Kentucky. And right now, it's above freezing at 4,000 feet. But I also want to draw attention to that number right here, the dew point, 26.6. So that means as that precipitation moves into Harlan County and moves into eastern Kentucky, we may evaporate some of that before it hits the ground. That is a cooling process. You may wet bulb a little bit and bring those temperatures down. If we can cool that column of the atmosphere off quicker, get it 4 degrees cooler, all of a sudden we switch that bad boy over from freezing rain or sleet into outright snow. So that is going to be something I'm watching very, very closely tonight. Another site I'm watching very closely is Knox County. That's our furthest southeast site that's still at a low elevation, not up in the mountains. That's the warm spot right now in the state, 39.4 degrees. My friends in Barberville, Middlesboro, Pineville, I wish I had better news for you. That's going to be a lot of heat we've got to dissipate, and we're already nearly saturated in the atmosphere. So we're not going to get any evaporative cooling there. We've just got to advect in colder air. If there's going to be a spot in the state that does not see snowfall accumulation, it's probably going to be in portions of Knox, Southern Clay, Bell counties, maybe over into McCreary County. That is going to be the worst chance of accumulating snow in the entire state tonight. Because it is just so daggone warm there. Here's another look at those current air temperatures. So yeah, you can see that freezing line is starting to work its way east. We just got to get it here. Got some different cameras we can look at right now. Most of the cameras that are seeing precipitation rain, like it's flat pouring over in Pulaski County right now. We go up a little further north though. Let me see if I can pull up one of the Fayette County cameras. Looks like rain right now, but maybe some snowflakes trying to mix in there. Yeah, I see a few of those white streaks at the other Fayette County site. Go down to Madison County, though. That's all rain right now. Go over to Oldham County. Maybe a little light accumulation already on the ground there. That's hard to tell because it's night, but let me know what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. Brandy saying, sleet right now in Kaywood and Harlan County. Good to know. Clark said, where's the warm front right now? Parked over in Knox County. Jessica Purdon on YouTube asking, what's it looking like for Greenup County? For my friends over in Greenup County, we are looking about 2 to 4 inches of snow. We'll see how it all plays out, but right now it's looking like 2 to 4 inches is what I've got up that way. Yep, Greenup County I've got in the 2 to 4 inch zone right now. Let's keep those questions coming. Let me reset real quick. Got some new messages. Freezing rain in Winchester. Thank you, Megan, for that report. Freezing, cold enough to snow in Knox County, but given rain right now. Yeah, it depends on where at in Knox County you're at, Troy. Right there near the Mesonet side over by Knox Central, it's saying it's 39 right now. But I'd love to know what it's doing in your backyard. Okay, let's real quick. Wanna we're gonna call an audible and change something on the fly. That's the joy of doing this stuff live. We're gonna pull up the newest run of the HRRR. So you can see the primary low starting to form down near Louisiana. The low that we're getting is over near Memphis right now. And it is pushing off to the east. At least according to that map. Got plain rain in Corbin. Thanks, Angie. What's the expected accumulation in Somerset? Right now, I've got Somerset. Let me pop that snow map back up. Right on the borderline between nothing to an inch and a coating to 2 inches. So I would say coating to an inch for Somerset's a good bet at this point. Got rain in Barberville. Thanks, James, for that report. So yeah, that area of low pressure is working to the east. And then we get that new low that's going to form overnight off the coast of the Carolinas. And as that energy transfers, that's when we should see some of that changeover. Now, we'll zoom in and take a closer look at that here in a second. Here's another model's take. The HRRR has been kind of skimping on the snow in southeastern Kentucky. If you want snow in southeastern Kentucky, your one friend right now is the good old GFS, the American model. So we're going to go into the Kentucky view, show you how some of the different models are playing things out tonight. So right now we are coming up on 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Central Time. This is what the radar should look like according to the HRRR model. Let's see how it actually looks right now. Pretty similar. So the HRRR, at least right now, seems like it has a decent handle on it. Yeah, you can see I've got both current radar and projected future radar pulled up, and decent. I think there's maybe a little bit more precipitation on the real radar than what's on the model. That's good for you snow lovers. We want all the moisture we can get. So let's fast forward. This is 4 a.m. according to the HRRR model. You'll notice Eastern Kentucky still in the rain at this point. A narrow band of freezing rain and sleet running from about Bowling Green over to Ashland. And northwest of that, some heavy snow. And then on the backside, Eastern Kentucky gets just a little bit of light snow, and it's out of here by lunchtime tomorrow. That is the HRRR model's take on it. We got the new NAM in. Quality control check on it. Still skimping on the snow band a little bit. Got that first rain shield pretty good. Notice some of that darker blue showing up. There's going to be some absolutely prolific snowfall rates in that deformation band somewhere in northeastern Kentucky, from Lexington up to Maysville. Somewhere in there is going to get a thumping of snow tonight. NAM not showing much snow for eastern Kentucky, though, friends. So my friends in Hazard, Harlan, Pikeville, London, Corbin, that model is not your friend right now. Our Lone Ranger right now is a good old GFS. Now, obviously, it isn't as high resolution, so it doesn't see those fine details like the HRRR or the NAM, but it's trying to broad brush some snow in here. Canadian, this is the regional variant of the Canadian. This one worries me. I hope this one is wrong, because if this one's right, Eastern Kentucky is waking up to a quarter inch of freezing rain. We do not want that to happen at all. Plain Jane snow or plain Jane rain. Let's keep that freezing rain mess out of here. So let's just kind of run through and show what some of the different models are showing and how that kind of differs from my forecast. We'll take a real quick second to answer some questions. Got some differences in the weather in Barberville, and this can happen, guys. James has just rain at his house. Troy has a little bit of slight wintry mix. Sounds like a little sleet trying to mix in with it. That is totally possible, guys. You could be 1 mile from each other and have different precipitation types just with the thermodynamics at play tonight. Not out of the realm of possibility at all. So it's not that either one of you guys are wrong. You could both be right. It is doing what you say it's doing at your house. It's just that's how tight of a band we're working with tonight with these temperature profiles. All right, so let's run through the models. Here's the European model. Southeastern Kentucky, not getting much if this model's right. Western Kentucky, 1 to 2 inches. Central Kentucky, 2 to 4 inches in that darker blue to the white. Here's the Canadian model. Kind of in the same vein. GFS says, hold my apple juice. Let's give everybody an inch or two. I know a lot of kids are going to be rooting for that one, and a lot of teachers too for snow days. Saw Chris Bailey invoke the snow dance. Let's see if that has any effect on things tonight. I hope it does for my sake. This teacher definitely wouldn't mind a snow day tomorrow. Probably going to be a lot of NTI days, my guess. Here is the HRRR model. We were taking a look at it. You can see it is showing next to no accumulation down in the Cumberland Valley. Maybe a quarter to a half inch in Pikeville. Buckhorn may get like a quarter inch. Hazard gets not even a quarter inch. Pulaski County over at Somerset, a half inch. Worth model has at least a half inch in Eastern Kentucky and is picking up on that 3 to 4 inch deformation band. At least one version of it is. The German model is going zilch for the snow in far southeastern Kentucky. Same for the NAM and the high-res NAM. The RAP, a little bit better snow coverage. The regional Canadian showing 6 inches plus up in portions of Ohio and Indiana. That'd be fun. Rapid refresh, not showing a ton. The British model, not showing a ton. So that's kind of the breakdown of the snow. Here's the freezing rain. This is the one that worries me. This is the Canadian model. I hope this is wrong. We do not want a quarter to a third of an inch of ice accumulation in this darker pink and the purple. It's kind of the only one going that aggressive. The others are showing some light freezing rain accumulation, generally less than a tenth of an inch. But the two Canadians, they like their ice, eh? Where at, Joe? Here's my forecast. So, enough looking at the models. Let's talk about my forecast. So, far southeastern Kentucky in the green, this is mainly a rain event. We may not get any accumulation up to 1 inch. And I know that's a real cop-out of a forecast. I hate that. I feel sick putting that on. That's not something I like putting it on. But there is that much volatility in the forecast. a degree here or there can swing this forecast wide open. And it's going to be hard to pinpoint where this happens. This is, put it this way, for the second winter system in a couple of weeks, this is not how I want to be starting the winter season. These are headache forecasts. And also in far western Kentucky and along the Tennessee border, mainly rain, nothing to up to an inch. For the areas in the pink, we're talking coating to 2 inches. You're still going to get that rain to snow transition. There may be some freezing rain in there. I'm still concerned about a light freezing rain accumulation in the light blue, especially south of I-64. 1 to 3 inches for you folks. And then 2 to 4 inches from Lexington northeast. Chris McQueen asking about London and Corbin. What time does the changeover happen? Chris, old buddy, old pal, right now, my best guess puts that changeover in London 5, 6 a.m. 6, 7, I don't know. Somewhere in that 5 to 7 window. All right. So, any questions? It's going to be one of those nights where we're just going to have to sit back and wait and see how it all plays out. For those of y'all just joining us, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. I'm based out of London, Kentucky. I typically cover central and eastern Kentucky's weather forecasts and covering the entire state tonight, talking about the winter weather that's moving in. And it's messy out there, friends. It is messy. Snow in the north, rain in the south, and that's going to be pretty much the general story of the night. James Beatty, asking about storm potential for the end of the week. Well, we can pop up the old European model. Take a look at that for you. Uno momento, por favor. Let me get something ready on the back end real quick. Pop that over. All right, so this is tomorrow morning, actually tomorrow early afternoon, about 1 o'clock. High pressure building back in, drying us out, keeping us cool. Cold front passes by on Thursday. That may throw a flake or two, but it's looking pretty dry. I'm going to have to watch the southern system on Friday. Right now, at least the European model, picking up on the potential of a little snow in the Cumberland Valley. So even though we're probably missing out a lot on this round, we may get some where nobody else gets any with that system, if the European is to be believed. Then we get another clipper in here. Looks like next Monday. That's about as far as I like to go out. Although the pattern does look like we're going to load up on clippers, at least for part of December. This is the type of pattern that really lends itself well to clippers diving in from Alberta, Canada. Katie asking, are you going to need a sub tomorrow? Katie, it's real interesting because your guys up in Rockcastle County and up around Mount Vernon are probably going to see more snow than we will in Laurel County. So you may have a harder time getting to work than I do tomorrow. Yeah, I know. Man, I know, hon. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. We don't need the snow. Unfortunately, Mother Nature is saying we're going to keep things active, at least somewhat. The good thing with clippers is usually if we do get snow from them, it's not a lot. The bad news is it doesn't take a lot of snow around here cause some problems. Especially, it always seems like it's those small little nuisance snows that cause the most trouble on the roads. And I don't know if it's just because they don't prep the roads enough or what it is, but it's always like those half-inch, 1-inch snows that just glaze the roads and just make driving pure Hades. So yeah, to answer your question, James, couple of systems lined up that could impact our weather end of this week and possibly one or two next week, probably early week and then mid to late week. Right now, with the kind of pattern we're in, it's looking like a storm system about every 4 to 5 days right now. Other questions, comments, thoughts, and concerns? So, once again, there is the snow forecast. I'm just letting it ride, folks. I feel pretty confident in this. Somebody up in central Kentucky may overachieve a little bit. I think a lot of folks are going to be on the lower end of this, especially in southeastern Kentucky. That nothing is a very viable option in the green. Columbia, I've got you guys right now, right on that border between a coating to 2 inches and 1 to 3. So we'll call an inch or two for Columbia right now, Braden. Sierra Miller putting in the request for a white Christmas. I will say, my old friend Chris Bailey's bold prediction in his winter forecast this year was the best chance we've had in a while of a white Christmas. I remember the last white Christmas very well. We had just picked up our son Eli as a foster child 2 days before Christmas, and Christmas Eve 2020 go down to Amanda's family in Perry County. I have 4 meteorologists tell me, "Oh, as long as you're back to London by 5 o'clock, you'll be fine." We'd been so busy prepping a nursery on short notice, getting up to get Eli, getting him to doctor's appointments. I didn't have time to to really get super in depth with the weather. Needless to say, it started snowing at 2:30, and we get stuck in Hazard. We get the last room in the Holiday Inn in Hazard with our baby boy, who is days old at that point. Amanda having to fight her way through Walmart to get a few things to get us through the night. Eli's got like the best and worst first Christmas story ever. It's I'll have to tell that one in a little more detail sometime. But yeah, we're not fans of White Christmas in our family, Sierra. We got to do a lot of traveling. Yeah, I see Amanda just responded. December 26th. Any other questions? That snow should be wrapping up early tomorrow, y'all. It will be likely messy during the morning commute. One thing I did want to show real quick, I think we hadn't looked at this yet, and I did pull this up to talk about, is those road temperatures. So right now, up in, oh, whoa, zooming way out. Up in Scott County, road temperature is 38 degrees right now. This is over around Lexington, 37 degrees pavement temperature, 43 in Somerset right now. I-75 in Whitley County is 42 degrees. Bowling Green, 40 degrees. So the road temperatures are going to have to drop quite a bit for those roads to ice up. Not saying it can't happen. It certainly can. Here's US 25 in Bell County, 43 degrees right now. Air temperature 38 degrees. You can find this at goky.ky.gov. You can check those pavement temperatures on some of the major roads in your area. Now, obviously, the major roads are going to run a couple degrees warmer than the side roads. Any other questions? Well, we will go ahead and wrap it up then. Thank you guys so much for logging on. If you find value in what I'm doing, be sure to like and subscribe, share the forecast out. This will get archived and can be played back as an on demand video. So if you missed it or you have friends that want to see it, share it with them. And if you're on Facebook, stars help out a lot. Appreciate any support y'all send that way. And going to keep going through the winter. Question about Columbia. I did see the question, Columbia. Right now I've got Columbia probably about an inch or two, Braden. Don't think it's going to be a lot out there, but a little bit of snow. Probably an inch or two. Thank you, hun, for pointing that one out. All right, well, we're going to wrap this thing up. Till next time, friends, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, stay weather aware, and I'll have updates tomorrow. Bye bye, y'all.